Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn a new lesson from our Ncert book, lesson number 3, Taro's Reward. Class 6 Ncert book, lesson number 3, Taro's Reward. The story is taken from Japanese folktale. Do you know Japanese folktale means what? Japanese everyone knows. Folktale? Okay. Folktale means a very old traditional story on a particular place that is originally passed on people in a spoken form, right? For example, I heard a story from my mother listened the same story from her mother or her grandmother or her great grandmother. Fine, this is called as folk tale, means story. Fine, okay, let's move ahead. Taro. Taro was a young woodcutter. He lived with his parents on a lonely hillside. Though he worked very hard, he earned very little money. So the family was very poor. You know what happened on one evening? One evening, Taro and his parents were sitting in their hut. A cold, strong wind was blowing. Taro's father wished he had a cup of sake to warm him. Sake means one kind of Japanese drink. Okay? Taro could not buy that expensive drink for his old father. He became very sad. He decided to work harder than before. So next morning, he went to the forest early. He felt very tired working by noon. His mouth was dry. He felt very thirsty. Suddenly, he heard the sound of rushing water. He had never seen a stream before then. He ran to the waterfall behind a rock. He put the water to his lips and then it tasted like a shake. Fine. Then Taro quickly filled his pitcher with that cold water. Pitcher means it's one kind of pot, usually made of mud. Okay? And gave it to his father. His old father found that liquid very tasty and heartwarming. He offered a cup of sake to an old lady who was his neighbor and also told her a story of that magic waterfall. Then what happened, you know? She spread the news of this waterfall in whole village. So many villagers took a sip of that shake. Next morning, they went to the waterfall with jars and pitchers. But they were disappointed. To them, the water tasted like ordinary cold water. They cursed Taro and looked for him to punish him. But Taro saved his life cleverly. The story of Taro and his magic waterfall reached the Emperor of Japan. Then he called the Taro and rewarded him for his goodness and his services to his old parents. Right? He named the city's best fountain after Taro and rewarded him even. Actually, he wanted all the children to respect and obey their parents. Fine? So I should share one thing with you. It is written in Rudra Samhita of Shiv Puran. कि भाई circumambulating one's parents with the virtues equivalent to circumambulating the whole earth. Okay? So give respect to your parents and obey their orders. That's why in a Sanskrit it's called Matru Devo Bhava and Pitru Devo Bhava.